today I want to talk to you about the word no. As kids, we really love it, right? We love to say it. When we're little, Finley this morning was telling me no. We kept holding up shoes and she kept saying no. And so we went through all her shoes. She has three pairs. And she kept saying no. And I was like, Finley, you got to wear something. No. So kids like the word no. When you get into network marketing and you are a network marketing mom boss or dad boss or boss woman, whatever you are, um, you don't like the word no. We reach out to people and then they say no, and it's like pain. But there's actually some really surprising yet really not so bad reasons that people might be saying no. No, it's not such a bad thing. Number one, you have to get through some no's to get to the yeses. There are going to be people that it's not a good fit for, and that's okay. See, I heard an analogy about you got to find the people that are hungry. I love ice cream. I love dessert. So let's say that Olive Garden is offering my favorite dessert for free. As Olive Garden, there is a person standing out on the patio waving and with a huge sign saying, "Come eat this dessert. It's free." I'd want that, right? Because I love it. Well, maybe, but not if I was already full. Not if I'd just eaten 5 courses of Thanksgiving dinner at grandma's house and including like 11 rolls because rolls are my favorite thing on the planet. Then I might not want that dessert. Does that mean, though, that next week when my body digests all that food I ate, that then I might not want the dessert? Of course it doesn't. Just because I'm not hungry at this moment doesn't mean that I won't be hungry later. Okay. And here's another thing. Let's say that that person is standing there on on the patio waving and tracking me down for pumpkin pie, and they're trying to give me free pumpkin pie. Well, guess what? I might be the only person in the world that doesn't like pumpkin pie. So I don't want pumpkin pie. Does that mean that I'm never, ever, ever gonna want a different dessert that they have? Absolutely not. If they would have just held up the chocolate pie, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, I love chocolate pie. I don't like pumpkin pie. Does that mean that I don't like Olive Garden? Does that mean that I think the person standing out there is absolutely ridiculous and ugly and awful? That's ridiculous. So, see, y'all, those same kind of things apply with our Plexus business. When we reach out to somebody, we're trying to find the people that are hungry. Okay? So, if somebody says no, it's not because they think we're awful. It's not about us at all. It's about what do they need and what do they understand that they need. Because here's another thing people might say no because they're not hungry. They might not see a need. Um, People might say no because that's just not their cup of tea. But people might say no because they don't know enough yet to realize that they need it. I don't need a lot of convincing that I need a chocolate pie. I don't really need a chocolate pie anyway. But with health products, a lot of times people think they don't really know. And so they may have a need for Plexus and not even realize it yet. So our job is to educate them. And then once they're educated, they might get to that point where they're hungry, tongue tied. They might realize they need it. So that's our job. When people say no, number one, it's not personal. Almost always when they say no, it's because either they're not hungry or they don't realize that they need it. So here's the deal when people say no, you say okay. You don't take it personally. You keep on educating and you keep on building that relationship because if you've built that relationship and it's strong and you've put deposits in that relationship bank account, then when it is time, when they are hungry, when they are educated enough in the products to realize, you know what? These products could help me. They could really help me. Then you've got that relationship, you've got that connection, and you'll be the person they come to. Or when you do ask them the question that next time, instead of saying no or ignoring you, they're going to say yes because they're ready now, because they're hungry now. So your job is not to convert everybody to Plexus. Your job is to reach out and look for the people that are hungry. And for the people that don't know because they just don't know, your job is to educate them so that they'll learn. And your last job and your most important job is not to take things personally and not to assume things. Because when you assume things, a lot of times you're wrong. You might be assuming that they didn't respond to you because they're not interested, when in fact, they opened the message, started to read it, and their daughter took off her diaper and pooped on the back porch. That's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit, and more times than I can fit on two hands. So, not everybody has a child. Not everybody has a child that's going to take off their diaper and poop on the porch. But everybody has distractions and things going on in their life. And so I would say that it's not ever a good idea to assume the negative. You know what? You could assume the negative, and it's probably not true. You could assume the positive, and even if you're wrong, it doesn't hurt anything because you haven't based your self-worth and your ideas on a negative thought. So don't put negative thoughts in people's mouths that they didn't say. You stop that negative talk and you tell yourself, you know what? They didn't respond either because they're busy, they got distracted, they don't see the value, but none of that has any impact on who I am as a person. And so I'm going to keep sharing because I know that these products can make a difference for me and other people. I know that these products can make a difference for my friends and my family. And I know that this business can make a difference for my friends and my family. So I'm going to keep sharing. And when people are interested, I'm not going to assume the worst. I'm not going to assume that they're not interested because they don't like me or because I'm annoying. Because I know that when I share, I'm going to share with confidence and I'm going to share with kindness and authenticity. And if they know me, they're going to know that I'm sharing because I care. And as hallmarky as that sounds, sharing is caring. If you One more analogy for you, and then I'll close this out. If you have a friend and y'all are walking down the street and they say, "Man, I have a headache." Well, you know that in your bag you have a whole bottle of Advil. Would you just kind of keep chilling and keep walking? Be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you have a headache. I wish I could do something to help you." No, you'd be like, "Oh, I have some Advil. Do you want it?" And if they say yes, you'd hand them the Advil. If they say no, are you going to feel terrible that they didn't want your Advil? No, you didn't make the Advil, you didn't make their body. So if they don't want it, that's their choice and it does not reflect on you. Okay? So let's all promise right now, pinky promise, Aubrey, I'm not going to assume that people don't like me just because they said no to my products. I'm not going to assume that people think I'm annoying just because they didn't respond. I'm going to know that what I'm doing is good and valuable and caring because when you know that there's something that can change people's lives, it would be wrong not to share it. So, anyway, hope this helps you. Hope this gives you some insight onto why people say no and what you can do when they say no, which is just to keep going. Keep loving them, keep connecting, keep educating them, and they'll come around.